A Swiss Air Force F-5E fighter jet collides with a flock of birds while performing a low-altitude pass. The sudden impact causes the aircraft to shudder as feathers and debris scatter across the sky. The pilot maintains control and initiates an emergency climb to assess potential engine damage. A Sikorsky S-64 Skycrane descends dangerously low while attempting to refill its massive water tank from a lake. The powerful rotor wash creates a violent spray, reducing visibility. The helicopter wobbles precariously as the pilots fight to regain stability, narrowly avoiding a catastrophic crash. A Delta Airlines Boeing 767-300ER is forced to land at an unusually high speed due to a mechanical issue preventing the flaps from extending beyond their takeoff position. The aircraft streaks down the runway, requiring precise control and a prolonged rollout before coming to a complete stop. A Turkish Airlines Boeing 777-300ER performs 2 go-arounds due to unstable approach conditions. Buffeted by unpredictable crosswinds and struggling to align with the runway, the pilots make split-second decisions before finally executing a smooth touchdown on their third attempt. A TUI Boeing 737 MAX 8 encounters intense downdrafts just seconds before landing. The aircraft suddenly loses altitude, forcing the pilots to react swiftly with increased thrust and nose-up inputs. The landing gear slams onto the runway with a firm but controlled touchdown, securing a safe arrival despite the challenging weather. Each of these incidents showcases the skill and composure of pilots facing extreme circumstances in the skies.
On the afternoon of February 11, 1978, a PWA flight crew was preparing for a regularly scheduled service from Calgary, Alberta, to Cranbrook. The aircraft was a Boeing 737-200, known for its sturdy frame and versatility, making it ideal for operating in Canada's remote regions. Cranbrook, however, wasn't such a remote location. It had a proper 6,000.
As it turns out, PWA pilots were widely aware that some of their colleagues had successfully done these type of maneuvers on multiple different occasions.
Foot runway with an instrument landing system, ILS, full approach lighting, and modern amenities. Yet, it lacked one crucial feature, a control tower. The pilot in command, aged 30, had amassed nearly 5,200 flight hours, over half on the 737. His first officer, only 25, was relatively new with 1,300 total hours and just 81 on the 737. Despite the less-than-ideal weather at their destination, heavy snowfall had deposited nearly a meter of snow, and visibility was down to about 1,200 meters. The flight proceeded as planned, given the crew's familiarity with such conditions and the presence of an ILS at Cranbrook. At 12:32 local time, Flight 314 took off from Calgary. Around this time, Calgary Air Traffic Control, ATC, relayed an estimated time of arrival, ETA, to Cranbrook's air radio station. The ETA provided by Calgary ATC was 13:05, derived from their standard, yet often inconsistent, calculation methods. In contrast, PWA's internal operations estimated the arrival at 12:55, a figure accurate to within a minute. However, this internal estimate was not shared with Cranbrook's air radio operator, who relied solely on Calgary's communicated time. Unlike a control tower, the air radio...
Now, going around after deploying the reverses has been prohibited basically everywhere, ever since thrust reverses became a thing.
Radio station could only provide advisory information and had no authority to issue instructions. The operator, tasked with overseeing ground operations, monitored a snow plow clearing the runway. According to guidelines, snow plows should be cleared 5 minutes before an aircraft's arrival to minimize runway contamination. Believing Flight 314 would arrive at 13:05, the operator planned to recall the snow plow at 1300 hours. Contributing to the impending crisis was the lack of formal regulations regarding the air radio operator's role, creating a disconnect between ground operations and air traffic control procedures. Calgary's ETA, intended for passenger handling rather than operational separation, was